Hey y'all, I'm here. I'm back with another review. Real Housewives of Beverly Hills. Sorry y'all. Between working, moving, getting new furniture, it's rough. I'm trying to fall back in the schedule, but it's really, really, really hard. Like, it's just really hard. But anyway, I'm here, y'all, regardless. I'm going to try my best to get y'all the review this week versus waiting next Monday to do it. But anyway, we're here. I have a lot to talk about. So, work with me because it's been a couple days since I've seen this episode. So, Real Housewives of Beverly Hills season, I don't know, episode, I don't know, it'll be in the description bar. Okay, so, we start off where we left off last week, which is with all of the girls except Erica. Sutton asked all of the girls to meet, I believe, at Dorit's house, okay? So, Sutton pretty much said that she's talked to an attorney about how to protect herself and pretty much what does it mean for her to be, like, in association with Erica. So everybody in me is pretty much like, oh, okay, so you are more concerned about your reputation. Like, is that what it is? Because legally, I think almost all of the girls was like, because I think Kyle said she checked with somebody, and then Dorit talked to what is her husband's name, KP or whatever, about it, and how all of those people was like, well, this has nothing to do with you, so you don't got to worry about that. So are you more concerned about your reputation? And she says yes, and she was like, and I just feel like my reputation is important. Like, I built up, this reputation. I'm on all of these boards and stuff like that, and I don't want to be, associated with her right now, and people always asking me all of this stuff. And this, like I said, at this point, this is when we find that everybody, for the most part, has like lawyered up. And I was just like, wow, just wow. Like, and when I mean wow, like, I get where Sutton is coming from. Like, just because you got to be careful when you align yourself with certain things. It's not a good look to you as a person. So I understand her feeling like, I understand her feeling like she wants to protect her reputation, but I don't know, it just comes off. But okay, this is how I feel about it. If that is the case, I mean, I don't know how I feel about it, because I was gonna say, this just shows me and proves to me that none of y'all are really Erica's friends, if I said that before. Because if that is your friend and your friend is explaining to you, now there's not to say that you don't have questions, because all the questions that Sutton asked at that table were fucking valid. All of them. And there's not to say you can't question your friend, but it says a lot that you are more concerned about the way that you look versus how, like, just supporting her. But at the same time, I can't get mad at that, because that's pretty much what Erica is doing in her divorce. Erica is saying, fuck Tom, you go down that drain by yourself, so I need to protect me. I don't know. I feel like half and half about it. So pretty much at this point, everybody is talking, and for the most part, almost everybody except I think like Garcelle or somebody else, like and Lisa pretty much was like, like, we don't want to be seen pretty much supporting her. So Sutton says that she knows somebody's husband who left the firm like 10 years ago because there was already like weird stuff going on, and the wife was like, oh, I think you should leave. I don't know how much I believe that, but okay. But I do believe that this was going on for a really, really, really long time. And then all of the girls pretty much asked, and now they was like, do you believe Erica? She was like, no, I do not. And she's like, there's a lot of stories and stuff that doesn't make sense, like the accident story, which I said on that episode that story don't make no motherfucking sense, Erica. I don't know what you're trying to get with that story. I don't know if that's the story that y'all are trying to use to lead down the road of, okay, well, this is why he's having like some dementia and some brain problems, because that story made absolutely no sense. Did he fall out the car? How long was he out there? He called you, but he was also in the middle of a ditch. Like, how did you find it? It's just so many questions. So again, it's not that Sutton doesn't have valid questions, because she do, because that story didn't make no sense when I heard it either. Okay. Then they talk about how long has he been mentally deteriorate. Wait, oh my gosh, I'm having a fucking brain aneurysm. How long has his mental capacity been shrinking? I can't even get the word out. Deteriorating, right? Fuck y'all. I don't care. Anyway, so Is it 10 years or is it the 3? Now, Erica, I think, and maybe like the lawyers or somebody said something about it being 3 years. But then she read somewhere else that it said 10 years. So kind of like which one it is. So Sutton said that she also believes that Erica and Tom lawyers has been in cahoots as far as this whole thing. Do I think they've been in cahoots? No, not currently. But I do think it's two things are going on. Either A, before this whole thing went down, Erica talked to Tom's lawyers about how they can possibly spin this story. Or number 2, Erica heard about the way that the lawyers were going to try to spin it and then just decided, well, I'm going to try to help him. One of those two things happened. So then Lisa jumps in and, you know, she's trying to like defend Erica, you know, saying to Sutton like, you know what, I don't really think that that's right. Like, if you're her friend, like, I did kind of understand what Lisa was saying to a degree. Like, how is that supposed to be your friend and you're more so concerned about your reputation and how you look? And then it kind of flashes back, because I think Kyle talked about it later. It kind of flashes back to when Erica was telling Kyle, like, you'll see how fast people won't be your friends and stuff like that when shit like this happens. Very true. So then Lisa in her confession was like, I know that I'm being hypocritical, you know, about the whole thing with Denise and me not defending her. And I was like, okay, well, as long as you said it, because I already cursed you out before for it. So as long as you know that, it's not adding up. But okay. So then they talk about how much Erica like heralded her husband, and this is Dorit mostly, because mind you, it's Dorit and Sutton that's really doing the most da 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 da. Now Kyle is saying stuff here and there, but it's mostly like Dorit and Sutton. Now Dorit is pretty much like, I don't understand, you know, she heralded her husband so much in front of us, told him how he was such a great man, and you're taking this from this person and that person and this person, and it's like, okay. But let's be real. Which one of y'all are gonna sit down and talk shit about your husband to anybody? You're not a good wife if you go around and all you have something to say about your husband is negative. So that part right there doesn't count. Oh, she heralded him. That's what all of y'all husbands do. And I'm pretty sure at one point in time, all of y'all husbands has been trash. I'm pretty sure at one point in time, Sutton walked around talking about how her husband was the best thing since sliced bread, when that wasn't the case. Everybody's not going to tell y'all their marital woes, if that makes any sense. So then Sutton pulls out notes and starts going down all of the accusations, like she's a fucking lawyer or some shit. And then at the end, Sutton pretty much, because I think somebody was like, I don't believe that she actually knew or something like that. And then Sutton was like, I mean, I could say that too, but then ignorance isn't an excuse. And this is how I feel about that. I'm going to bring up what I was trying to bring up last week, but my time got cut off short by my video. That is true to an extent, that ignorance is not an excuse. But I also want you to remember, Sutton, that you just told us. Everybody remember this. Sutton just told us 2-3 episodes ago when she was understanding with Erica that, hey, there are probably a lot of things that you have that you didn't know. Sutton said out of her own mouth that I found out after doing the, the forensics, that I was an owner in 2 minor league baseball teams. Now, let's just say something would have happened within that team. I don't know. It could be anything. And then now your name is in the headlines. Sutton's baseball team, you know. So I'm confused. Are we supposed to excuse your ignorance? Is it okay that you were ignorant in that situation? Because I don't give a fuck if it was $20 million. $20 million and 2 baseball teams. Whoop did the fuck do? Still pretty big, large organization and a lot of things that has to come into place. That's all I'm saying, Sutton. So I'm not disagreeing with Sutton. I'm just saying that she needs to be consistent across the board with some of her problems. That's it. If you can understand that, I'm a little bit confused as how it's not, how now ignorance is not an excuse. Just saying, let's be fair here. So then Garcelle comes or whatever. We do a little segment. Okay, a little segment with Garcelle and her fine ass son. Okay, and they wasn't getting along for a little bit, but now they're cool and they back. And she had, you know, dinner or whatever. They really like white people, huh? Cause see, Garcelle married a white man that ended up treating her like shit and did her dirty. And then her son, who is fully black, cause that ain't his daddy, married a white woman. What's going on there, Garcelle? I ain't got issue. I'm just saying, what's going on there? Oh, Lord, y'all. Anybody who watched my reviews, y'all should know exactly how I fucking felt when Kyle said that Teddy fucking boring ass, get her the fuck off my screen Mellencamp was coming. It was like that Michael meme, you know, from The Office, when he's like, no, when Toby returns, just take the whole episode of when Toby returns back. That's how I felt. That entire episode about that. Thank God she didn't say too much, because I was ready to go in and laugh. I cannot stand boring ass Teddy Mellencamp. She is so boring. Oh my gosh. And the funny part is, when Garcelle shows up to Kyle's house first, and Garcelle is me, because the producers was like, do you have a problem with Teddy? Something like that. She was like, no, I just think Teddy's like annoying. Like, she's like a damn gnat. I'm like, yes, Garcelle, this is why me and you are here, because she's really like an annoying ass gnat. It's like she's a boring, annoying gnat. Like, just, oh my gosh, how many times did I have to say last season, shut the fuck up? Literally made a hashtag called Get Teddy the fuck off my screen. And bravo, Andy, that's the only reason why I'm gonna keep watching this, because you listen to me. Like, you listen to me and the feedback of everybody else when we said we didn't want Teddy's boring ass on the show no more. Don't bring her back no more. Let this be the one time. We'll need her no more after this. I don't even care that she didn't say shit. I'm tired. So everybody else come in. I loved Garcelle. I loved Dorit's outfit. Loved Crystal's outfit. Crystal came out showing out. I said, yes, ma'am. I do want to bring this up. I'm sorry, I just want to bring it up. But everybody is like, you know, funny style. Not everybody, but a lot of the girls. Some of the girls is a little funny style about supporting Erica and all this other stuff. But I just want to say that you can do a very, very, very quick Google and look up and see that Teddy boring ass Mellencamp last season, like I brought up for my review on the reunion, actually was under fire, very much so, because her little accountability program that she had people eating way less calories than they actually fucking needed. People were literally eating lettuce, not a whole bunch, just literally rip a piece of iceberg lettuce off and one itty bitty carrot, and telling people that was supposed to be that their meal. Was having accountability coaches pretty much hound and berate and disrespect her customers, pretty much stealing her customers money, allegedly. I don't want to say stealing their money, but if they didn't do specifically what was said by the accountability coach, then they wouldn't get their money back, no refund. So I don't understand. This is what I mean about y'all. This is why I don't like the Real Housewives. Y'all are a picky motherfucking choosy when y'all fucking want to be. Like Lisa. So now Lisa, last season, Lisa was all on Denise's ass. Now all of a sudden she wants to be real polite and real respectful. All of the girls, for the most part, was on Denise's ass last season. But now everybody has a change of heart. It's too much fucking wishy-washy. Y'all pick and y'all choose what y'all want to fuck with and what y'all don't. That's why I said, for real, y'all are not friends. This is all the convenience for the show. And whatever makes the most drama. So then Erica comes in. Garcelle and Erica, they didn't really like talk or anything like that, but we know what happened, so it's okay. So then when they sit down for dinner, Erica pretty much was like, because somebody was like, I could imagine that it's a lot. She was like, yeah, and there's like more to come out. So I can't wait to figure out what's the more to come out, because I would like to know. Because so far, everything that's been said is stuff that I already knew about. So what else is to come out? I would really like to know. I did see a brief article about how the $20 million was spent by Erica. It must be nice to just have a $14 million Amex bill. It must be nice. Anyway, so Sutton pretty much asked Erica, she was like, did you know about the LA Times article coming out? And then Erica was like, well, I don't know when everything comes out. So, and mind you, I'm going to clock Erica every single time I think that she's lying, and I think she lied a hell of a lot throughout this entire dinner. I believe that that's a lie. I believe Erica absolutely knew that an article was going to fucking come. Even if it wasn't the day before, she knew that something was coming down the pipeline, because there's no way in hell that you didn't know. You knew shit like that was coming. You knew damn well, okay? Then Dorit was like, oh, you know, I would never try to pry in your business, you know, because that's, you know, it's your life, and you know, you got to do what you have to do, and, you know, all of this bullshit pretty much that she wasn't talking the night before. And shout out to Garcelle, because Garcelle always gonna keep it real. Garcelle was like, that's not what you said last night. That's not what you said last night, because it's funny that you're super supportive right now, but last night you were not. And see, Garcelle is me. Whether or not I believe Erica, you gotta be consistent in your fucking stance and in your view. You gotta be consistent. And my main problem, like I said last episode with Dorit, Cal, and Lisa at that time, is the fact that all of y'all want to sit up here and talk about Erica the minute that she's not around. But the minute that she's in y'all face, oh my gosh, I'm so... But y'all are fake. Y'all full of shit. And Dorit, sorry. And you know I love you, but bitch, your car got pulled this night. Fake as hell. Super fucking fake. So then Dorit was like, well, no. And then she brings up the meeting pretty much that happened the last time, with Sutton and everybody. So Erica was like, oh, okay, all right. So what we doing is we having a committee pretty much on, what we should do, how we should handle Erica, and pretty much if we believe Erica or not. And that's exactly what it was. Erica was like, no. That's exactly what it was. Y'all came together as a group the same way how on the Real Housewives of Potomac when like Monique had snatched Candace up or whatever, and then all of the girls pretty much was at Karen's house and pretty much trying to do like a little powwow of whether or not they believed her and whether or not she needed to apologize. That's pretty much what it was. She's not lying. So then Sutton says to Erica, she was like, I don't think that you knew specifically that about like the law firm. I don't think that you knew that Tom was taking that money and giving it to you. And that's what I've always said. I don't believe that Erica knew that the money that Tom was bringing in was specifically stealing from orphans and clients and all that stuff. I do, however, believe that she found out and then decided to get a divorce. That's what I fucking believe. So Sutton was like, we all had, everyone says, so what the fuck? You said don't hold back. So I think at this point Sutton is like, well, we pretty much all had like concerns and we all had this, and then everybody was like, wait, like don't say everybody, like stick to what it is that you said, because you was really the one leading the charge, so go ahead and say it. Now I feel two ways about this. I do think that Sutton, wrongfully so, was expecting all of the girls to back her, but I do believe that Sutton was also trying to backpedal from making it seem like she was the only person, that pretty much she was like the one that spearheaded this. Yes, the other girls, not all of them, but some of the other girls backed you up when you were talking, but you was the one who spearheaded this. So I understand the feeling of, well, don't come to this table now and try to say all of us, you was the one who said it, you was the one who set up the meeting, so say what the fuck it is that you said. Don't try to downplay it by saying, oh, well, it wasn't just me. That part I could kind of agree with. So then Sutton was like, well, everybody pretty much here, like, I got legal advice. And then so Erica was like, who all got legal advice? Lisa said, sorry. Lisa was the one who brought up that Sutton got legal advice. And then Garcelle was like, and who else? And so then Dorit says that she did. Cal says that she talked to somebody. Almost everybody at the table, I think, said that they talked to somebody. I think except maybe, I don't know if Lisa did, but everybody pretty much at the table was like that they talked to somebody. But then everybody just kind of like start throwing Sutton under the bus, like to kind of take the heat off of them. They always like, well, yeah, but like Sutton was the one who kind of brought it up and she didn't believe you, and like just all of the girls just completely swept and threw Sutton under the bus, like she was the only person who said something. So then Sutton was wrong, was like, well, I was, because I think somebody brought up like about her being concerned about her reputation, and she was like, I'm not gonna lie, I was concerned about my reputation. So then they brought up the $20 million thing, so Kyle pretty much just asked straight out. She was like, I hate to be this person, but like, did you know? And Erica says no. I don't believe that Erica knew about the way that money was being divided during the time, but I do believe that she knew afterwards, which is why she got a divorce, period. So Erica says that she never... Sorry about that, y'all. My phone died. All right. So anyway, so where were we at? So, so like I said, so Kyle asked Erica if she knew, and she said no. Erica said that she never even saw her books for her own LLC. Do I believe that? It's not hard to believe, only because when I look at the breakdown of how she spent that $20 million, it don't even seem, she spent the bulk of it on just personal shit. Not even really stuff for her actual business. So now she said she was kept away from her books. I don't know. I don't know. But if it's under your name, girl, you need to be fucking knowing. That's pretty much what it comes down to. So then Erica also says that she didn't know that the $80 million, because remember I told you he said he had like 50 something in stocks and then another 50 mil, 30 mil, something like that in cash, and it's all gone. And she was like, I don't know where the $80 million went. Like, I just want somebody to tell me where the money is, pretty much. And she said that pretty much only Tom can answer these questions, not her. So then Dorit start fucking backpedaling something serious, and she was like, oh, I believe you, and I support you. And it's like, Dorit, where was this energy? Like, where was this energy yesterday? But okay. So Sutton asked Erica, she was like, did you talk to your lawyers about your story? And Erica said no. And then Dorit was like, well, don't ask that or whatever. Now, again, Dorit was being fake as hell to me, but I do think that question in particular was a little bit invasive. Do you really think that Erica's going to tell you to your face, Sutton, yes, I've been talking to my lawyers and we concocted a story? Like, that I do think is getting a little bit too invasive about, well, what did you and your lawyers talk about? That's none of your fucking business what me and my lawyers talked about. Just saying. So then Garcelle jumps in and she's like, hey, like I had a sister pretty much who had a similar situation like some of Tom's victims. Like, she had like a surgery that was messed up, and then, she was awarded some money and she never received the money from the lawyer. So she was like, so if it's true, then it's fuck Tom, pretty much. And so then Erica was like, no, I agree. It's about the victims. It's about the victims. But then Erica said, Tom is not mentally capable. And, it's all kind of gotten away from him. And if he stole the money, I would like to know where it is. Well, Erica, what do you mean you would like to know where the money is? All of the money that, I'm not going to say all of that money was spent on you, but a lot of that money was spent on you, was probably spent on him trying to cover up debts. That's where the money went. That's where the money went. Now, just because you personally didn't see $80 million, that doesn't mean that money wasn't being spent inappropriately. And I'm sorry, but Tom could be mentally incapable now. But the point of the matter is, this shit's been going on for a long ass time. And the point of the matter is, somebody should have pulled the plug on this bitch a long time ago. Period. So Erica was like, I'm last in this whole situation. Like, as long as the victims get their money, like they're owed their money. And then Erica pretty much just ends up by saying, look, if you believe me and you friends with me, cool. If you're not, then that's cool as well. So then the dinner pretty much ends and stuff like that. It's awkward as hell. So Sutton pretty much comes up to Dorit and she was like, don't you feel like you kind of like threw me under the bus? And Sutton, in her confession, she was like, I really expected like all of the girls to really have my back, but really all of y'all is just full of shit. Yes, Sutton, yes. Yeah, it's just now taking this situation for you to realize that all of these bitches is full of shit. They're all full of shit. Specifically, though, them three over there, Lisa, Dorit, and Kyle, they're full of shit. Don't ever come to this table and never come to a situation and expect all these bitches to have you back, because it's not going to happen. Teddy at one point, I think, jumped in and said something to the effect of like, we've all been named in lawsuits and stuff like that. That doesn't mean that we knew what was going on. That's the only thing I agreed with Teddy. And the one thing she said I did agree with, so good job for you, Teddy. Other than that, she shut her mouth the whole night. That's the type of shit I like from Teddy. Don't want to hear a word. Okay? But she was like, don't you, Sutton, all I have to say, Sutton, you are to never trust these hoes. These women work in their friendships, specifically on this show, out of convenience. It's out of convenience. Nobody here is really friends. Nobody here is really loyal. But I do, and again, I do feel like all of them pretty much tried to throw you under the bus. And that's just that on that. I really do, because a lot of them, specifically Dorit, had a whole lot of mouth and you didn't have shit to say. So I'm just a little bit confused, and I'm Garcelle with the shits too. Like, and then it shows next week that Dorit is gonna try to say that Garcelle is a bully. Oh, you said, look what you did to Cal and look what you did to me. Do not compare those two. I can't wait till next week. Bitch, don't compare those two situations. Do not compare what happened with Garcelle and Kyle to you and Garcelle. Just because somebody doesn't like you, that doesn't mean that they're fucking bullying. And don't worry, we'll get there. I'm gonna save that right for next week. But anyway, at the end of the episode, Erica got into her car and she was just like, okay, like I know exactly what the fuck that was. That was pretty much an interrogation at the end of the day. And even Kathy Hilton was like, well, I mean, at least this kind of prepares you for when you on court. She was like, right. I don't think that the girls are wrong for having questions. If I'm your friend, I should be able to ask you a question, but that's the thing. You hoes aren't really her friend. So that's where it kind of like gets a little funny style for me. But fine. If we're all hanging out and we're supposed to be quote unquote friends, I should be able to come and ask you, you know, as a friend, you know, certain questions and stuff like that. But I think in totality, all you hoes is full of shit. Erica included. All of you hoes except for Garcelle and Crystal Demir are all full of shit. And that's just the facts on facts. I'm out of here. Bye.